What's going on, guys? Evolution here and welcome to Feed the Beast. So guys, as you can see, I successfully made it back from our mining adventure from yesterday, and in the end we came back with a fair amount of obsidian. We got 22 left. I did use 4 blocks of it, and also not to mention we've got quite a bit of tin, copper, gold and iron in there. We got plenty more coal, we got some gems and the additional diamond to add on as well. So now we've got that all out the way, it's time to head on to the long awaited farm that we're going to be setting up. Because obviously the outline of this has been here to get done for a while. I've just been waiting on the obsidian. So I've got everything in my inventory here, and just to clarify for you guys, I'm going to be making a self-watering farm. It's not self-harvesting, so it's not fully automated. You will have to come and, you know, mow your crops down, or in fact get the little workers to do it for you. Whatever float your boat is completely up to you. But I mean, if you look at the skill level of my house, as in the machinery and stuff, this basic farm will get me going, considering the recipes to do it is really very simple. I mean, the sprinkler is one of the items you're going to primarily need. Let me sort the inventory out real quick. There you go. So everything in the right side here is most likely what you're going to want. So the sprinkler itself is literally iron, more iron to make the iron bars, a redstone torch, which is no problem. And then you're going to want a tank, which is part of the open blocks mod as well, which is 4 obsidian and then some glass paints, and that'll actually make you 2 tanks. So, you know, quite a nice little combo there. So in my inventory I've got an empty tank and a tank full of water, which holds it holds 16,000 MB worth of fluid, and I think a bucket represents 1,000, so it holds 16 buckets in total. So you can just fill that up using the water buckets or transfer pipes, whatever you want to do, and they do just link up. If I destroy this one here, I can just connect it up and boom, look at that. I mean, it's pretty awesome actually when you look at it. So we'll go ahead and if we make ourselves a little water source here real quick, we can fill both of these bad boys up, just to quickly give you a demonstration whilst we're here. So I'm going to recommend if you're going to craft the tanks, you've got to craft them in a tank, a set of 2, so you're going to need at least 2 tanks for this. But then if I explain later on the more advanced way of doing this, it really doesn't matter how you do it. Right, we are full. Awesome. So let's go ahead. We can pick these back up with our pickaxe, no problemo. Also, I'd recommend having the Omni wrench, because you can use that to rotate the sprinkler, and that's about it. So I'm going to place my sprinkler down, but in order for my sprinkler to work, it's going to need a water source. So that's what these 2 tanks are for. So we've got these 2 tanks there, and then we're going to plonk our sprinkler on top of it. So you can either plonk your sprinkler that way, so it will sprinkle left to right and then a little bit to the sides, or you can rotate it the other way and have it so it sprinkles like it covers more left to right sort of thing. So depending on how you want your farm will be dependent on the way you have it, but this is the perfect area for the sprinkler. So if I place it like this, it's going to sprinkle the 5 blocks to the left and to the right. There you go, you can see it, so it reaches all the way out to the edge. Let's let it sprinkle. So you can, if you watch the water particles, it's a good way to test. So let it all water all the way. No, hold on, I've gone and put it the wrong way round, haven't I? Let's chuck it this way. Right, let's try again, shall we? There we go. So it's hitting this back layer here, all the edges as well, and it should stop on this block. So if you just look from a bit of a distance, as you can see, it's covering all of this dirt area here, which is effectively, this is 5 blocks to the left and right, and then another additional 4 in front and behind it, if you have the sprinkler facing this way. So the sprinkler is just going to consistently water your area, which is pretty cool. It looks quite awesome as well. When we're sitting in the house, you'll be like, oh, that looks awesome. Although it is going to use the water out of your tank, which in all fairness, it doesn't go down that quick. It is quite a slow process. However, if you want to, and it's completely optional I guess, underneath your tanks you could go ahead and get the Aqueous Accumulator device. I'll quickly just get that up on the NEI for you guys. All it is a bit of iron, some gold, some glass, more glass, some tin and a bucket, and the pneumatic servo isn't anything special, it's just redstone, more iron and more glass. So if you make one of them bad boys, you can then use that to keep pumping water into your tanks, similar to how we've got it here. So the Aqueous Accumulator is providing us an unlimited water source, which is then being pumped into our steam dynamos to keep them nice and cool down. So you can use that same similar setup to put underneath your tanks to keep constantly pumping in an unlimited water source into your tanks. So that's one way you can have to like not worry about topping up. But to be fair, you know, the water bucket holds 1,000, so you know 16 water buckets every now and then isn't such a bad thing to be doing. You know, I'm not that lazy, but if you want to do it, as I said, there's the option to do so. So I think I've practically explained that, so I'm going to go ahead and for now we're going to put we're going to use seeds. We're going to grow some bread because obviously we're getting low on food, so for now this is going to be very efficient for us. Obviously you can practically grow whatever you want, anything that obviously needs water to grow you can plant, which is pretty nifty. And the good thing about this is because your plants are, well, your crops even are constantly being watered, and the fact that obviously the soil's like fertile constantly, they grow super quick. I mean, look at that, I just placed that one and it's already at 71% growth. It's super duper duper quick, and that one's at 14%. They grow really efficiently, which is one of the reasons I like using the sprinkler, and it's so cheap to do. So you might as well go ahead and do it. And if you are worried about having to top the water up, as I said, if you're that lazy, you can go ahead and just make it automated anyway. So I probably will end up doing that at some point, but for now, you know, this is more than fine for me. I mean, the next thing I'm probably going to look into is how to get it automatedly harvest, because admittedly I have to punch the crops down, and if you're not coming back to this area constantly, obviously they're never going to get checked, are they? So they'll just be fully grown for ages. So maybe that will be a thing we shall look into in the future, but for now this is more than substantial. So I just need to wait for these crops to grow so I can get some more seeds. But there we go, I got my first bit of wheat, hurrah, and I've got another 2 seeds, so I can place that down. And once we've got enough seeds, I'll cover this whole area. We don't need this water source anymore, so we can go ahead and block that up. So obviously I've got some other seeds in here. I've got some barley seeds, got some cotton seeds, I had some saplings, because I am going to do some other sorts of farming around this area as well. But obviously this was one of the things on my list. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of our Feed the Beast Let's Play today. It was a bit more of a tutorial / how to do video, but you know, I thought why not share this cool little thing with you guys. So hopefully you like my little farming system I've got going on, and be sure to check out the next episode for more Feed the Beast. Thanks for watching, guys.